But we'll kick it off with the opening film of the festival, a sequel 36 years in the making, sees Tim Burton reunite with Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and Catherine O'Hara for Beetlejuice, adding Jenna Ortega, Justin Theroux, Monica Bellucci, and the always scene-stealing Willem Dafoe to the cast. Just feels right for a Burton film. I had a good time with the film, and by the way, this movie opened to a lot of success, the third biggest weekend in 2024 in the States. Beyond the commercial success, a question to the both of you. I guess maybe we can kick it off with Lachlan here. Yeah, what did you think of it? Not seeing it in the context of a film festival, kicking off a big series of films. Did it live up to what I guess the original had set out in its classic status, or did it fall short?
Well, I guess the great thing I could probably say is with my opinion of this movie, or the way that I saw it, was I got to see it with the general public. I didn't see it with critics and film reviewers and whatnot. It was the general public that I saw it with, and I have to admit, people were having a lot of fun with the jokes and the humor, and I will happily go on record to say that this is probably one of Tim Burton's better projects in at least recent memory, and I think that it really leans into the stylistic ability that he can achieve. And I think that he's gone a bit all over the place with what he does. And I think that when he does a lot more CG, messy films, it kind of loses its character and touch. And I felt that with this film, the return to practical effects and to be fair, you do see a little bit of CG and you know that it's CG in comparison to practical effects, but with this film going back to practical effects, going back to just characters that are ridiculous and fun and over the top, and Michael Keaton steals the show so much, and in scenes where very big characters like, when I say big as in like, not like as a movie star status, but in just how they present themselves. Willem Dafoe almost steals every other scene that he's in with just how much fun you can see that he's having. Justin Theroux, as well, as sleazy as he is in this film, I actually have a lot of fun with his sleaziness and his over-the-top attitude to this relationship that he has with Winona Ryder's character. Jenna Ortega, unfortunately for me, is probably my least favorite part of this film. I think that she doesn't really do much when it comes to her character. Kind of just is that centerpiece that brings the story through its different beats. But practical effects are back. Tim Burton's weird, wacky world is fantastic, and Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice is a lot of fun.
Kev, we talked about Willem Dafoe already, that it reminds you of that Mr. Bean character where he plays like...
Yeah, wait, Lachlan, do you know to which character I'm referring? Have you seen the Mr. Bean movies? Do you remember Willem Dafoe being in one of them?
You know about the one where he's the actor and he goes to Cannes? You mean Mr. Bean's holiday?
Yeah. I want to believe that character transferred over to doing police movies, then died and kept doing them in the afterlife. So like that crossover. It's my favorite aspect of the movie, and I honestly just want to believe that character transferred over to the Beetlejuice universe. But I actually disagree with one thing that Lachlan said, and that is Justin Theroux's character. He walks a fine line between obnoxious and stupid, and seeing him, like, it's hit or miss with him. I think Ewan felt the same.
He wasn't a standout to me. To me, it was Willem Dafoe in the smaller moments, but then throughout the whole film, it was Catherine O'Hara. Just like nailing that tone. She was such a standout as well. And my issues with Jenna Ortega's character were mainly that I guess she's a catalyst to the story of, like, causing some stuff with her romance subplot that I saw, like, it was very obvious from a mile away that there's something up. And it didn't really feel intriguing to me. And that paired with Monica Bellucci not being a really interesting antagonist or at all, like, important. It was basically just like, hey, Tim Burton wants Monica Bellucci to have, like, a really cool scene where she gets assembled again and sewn together. That was her introduction, and I feel like that's all she kind of did in this movie.
She literally wanders, waiting for the movie to end. Yeah, like, that's literally her character.
But I feel like the fun in between, justice for Bob as well. There was just a lot of, like, funny stuff that is not too serious in the Tim Burton style that I appreciate, where it's like it could be very morbid, but it still feels like there's a lot of, like, positive energy to go around, even though there's death everywhere. And Michael Keaton, I mean, is fun, but he's never been the standout to me in either Beetlejuice movies. But I feel like there's always like some supporting player that makes it a bit more worthwhile. I was a bit surprised that Danny DeVito is basically like a cameo role. I thought that he would play a bigger part in the film. But yeah, especially the production design is a standout. I think all of that and costumes were great. Solid follow-up to a sequel that I feel like is worth existing, with a lot of these, like, hey, we got an IP, we got a franchise, let's continue to make money off it, which they did here. Feels a bit mean-spirited and devoid of any creativity. And Tim Burton, like Lachlan, I think you said, is like his last couple of films were they weren't it. Like even with the Dumbo remake, it's not like he's unfamiliar with retapping on an already existing IP, but here it worked for me. Like I didn't give it a glaringly great rating. I gave it a 6 out of 10, but I still feel the movie was very solid overall.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10 too. I called it a fun but inconsistent roller coaster ride. My favorite part was the intro. The shots over Wind River? Wait, well, no.
I don't.
River Winter?
Winter
River. Winter River. Yeah, it's Winter River.
Winter River.
Yeah.
Like that was my favorite aspect. Like that got my adrenaline pumping with that Danny Elfman score.
Yeah.
Amazing. But in the end, I was like, good time, very good filmmaking all around, but it wasn't that great. But I still enjoyed my time with it.
I actually walked out of the cinema thinking I was going to give it 4, and then I sat on it going, you know what? Monica Bellucci's character is one of the worst villains of the year because all she does is play chasey the entire time up until the end, and to the point that I kind of forgot that she was the antagonist, and Arthur Conti's character as Jeremy kind of becomes the antagonist for the good middle part of the film until he's kind of just yeeted out of there. So I brought it down to a 3-star, but if I'm honest, there is 2 reasons why I'm giving it 3.5. One, every single one of those musical numbers just had me bopping with the lip syncing and just it was just beautiful. And 2, I want that Willem Dafoe wax figure in my room right now with him pointing the gun. I want that. I want that particular prop. And you know what? It also gets an extra bonus half-star to get it to bring it to 3.5 because of the Sandworms. Second best Sandworm movie of the year.
They can only do that because it's also Warner Bros.
I totally thought they were going to make a Dune reference.
I don't know if that flies.
I really thought they were going to make a Dune reference. But it's close enough.